What is up, my beautiful YouTube family? Welcome back to my channel. Before I even get started, I just wanted to thank everyone for showing so much love on one of my really old foundation videos. So thank you to everyone who is supporting me. Anyways, in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make your foundation look like it is your skin, especially with a full coverage foundation. You also could use this with the lighter coverage foundation looks as well, but I'm just going to show you some of my favorite techniques on how to do your foundation to make it look like it's your skin, but just a little bit better. So yeah, let's just jump right into the video. Alright y'all, so first things first, we always want to start with a little bit of skincare at least, because our makeup is only as good as our skin is. One thing I think is always a necessity is going to be a moisturizer. One moisturizer I'm really enjoying right now is the Farmacy Daily Greens moisturizer. This is an oil-free moisturizer, so it doesn't make me super shiny, but it definitely gives me enough moisture. Another thing I really enjoy doing is starting off with an oil, so whether that be rosehip oil, grapeseed oil, whatever your favorite is, or even a beauty oil. Right now I am using the Ordinary plant-derived squalene, I think. But it feels like a really light oil, which I enjoy because I'm definitely more of an oily gal, so this is a really nice one. I also really like to use an oil before I put my makeup on, just because I feel like my skin accepts the makeup a little bit easier. It gives it something to melt into. I have both of these on already, but yeah, for skincare I always start with these two. So I did mention that I am a little bit more on the oily side. So I usually just put an oil controlling primer in my T-zone where I usually get a little bit more oily. So right now I am trying out the Smashbox Photo Finish Oil Controlling Primer. And like I said, just going right in my T-zone. Alright, so now that we're done with all the preparation, we can jump into the fun stuff, the actual makeup. When applying foundation, to get it to look more like skin, I like to work in layers. So for our first layer, we are going to start out with a very thin layer of a light coverage foundation. This is going to work as a blank canvas kind of. We're going to cover the whole face with this. I like to start off with a light coverage foundation just because not everywhere on my skin is going to need a full coverage foundation. There's plenty of places where there is no acne, no discoloration, and all it'll need is a little bit over it just to blur it. Two really good options for a light to medium coverage foundation would be the Morphe 2 foundation. This just came out a little while ago. It's beautiful on the skin. And then the Trusty Dusty MAC Face and Body Foundation. This is always a really good option as well. Today I am using my new favorite foundation, the Morphe 2 foundation. I know I'm hyping it up, whatever. But I'm mixing the shades Hint of Marshmallow and Hint of Beige. So like I said, for this first layer we are going for very light coverage. So I'm going to be using a stippling brush or a duo fiber brush. The white fibers are longer than the black bristles, so it gives you a little bit less coverage, more of like an airbrushed effect. Dip it right into the... I just flung foundation everywhere. And I'm going in circle motions like this, and this is going to go all over the face, even the eyes. And it's okay if you still see all the acne peeking through. It's a process. Oh, also, I forgot to mention, if you don't have a light coverage foundation, that's not a problem at all. All you really have to do is take your full coverage foundation and mix it either in with your primer, a beauty oil, a strobe cream, whatever it be. You can mix it into that, just something to dilute the pigment. So now I have my base layer on, we're going to move to our next layer. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab a more full coverage foundation. So I went ahead and picked up the Morphe Fluidity foundation in the shade 1.6. So the difference between the Morphe 2 foundation and the Fluidity foundation is this is going to be a full coverage matte foundation. So we have to be aware that this is a different finish to it, and it also has a different coverage to it. So after my initial layer, I'm going to take a look at my skin and see what is peeking through that I don't like. So I see some acne over here, as well as over here. I see some under eye circles. So I'm going to leave my under eye area alone for right now and just work on the acne coverage that I'm trying to achieve. So now I am grabbing a different brush. This is one with more dense bristles. Since the bristles are a little bit more dense, it's going to give me more coverage. So this is the E63 brush that I'm using for Morphe. Now, instead of working in the circular motions that I was doing on the first layer to give you that airbrush less coverage kind of look, I'm going to start working in patting motions. This is going to give you a little more coverage. So we want to pat, 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 pat right on those places. Sorry, I'm looking at my mirror over here if it's like really weird. But I'm patting in on those places where I need that extra coverage. One mistake I usually see people do is they go straight in with their full coverage foundation and they just take it everywhere. But as you can see, this is giving me great coverage that I only need right here. Same thing over here, I'm just patting on those places that I don't like to see. Alright, now I have all my acne covered up, which is amazing. So now that we have that second layer on, we run into a few issues that we're about to fix. All of the places that I put that second foundation, they're now matte. And I don't think that matte foundation looks a lot like skin. I prefer it to be a little more dewy. And also the foundations are just a smidge bit of a different color. So to fix that problem, we're going to reapply that first layer of foundation that we did. That is going to help give that dewiness back to it, and also it's going to help even out that color. So back to the same first layer, same brush. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys the first time, but this brush is the M462. So literally the same exact thing as the first layer, but I'm only covering where we put the second layer of foundations. So this is going to also add coverage, which is what I need. The next thing we want to do is correct the under eye area. I'm using my all-time favorite. This is the MAC 24 Hour Studio Fix Concealer in the shade NW22. This concealer has a natural matte finish to it, so it looks skin-like, but it also is very long wearing. I don't feel like I need a whole lot of coverage under my eyes, and I also like the airbrush look, so I'm grabbing another stippling brush. This is the M436 brush. I also like to take my concealer and just kind of drag it down. Okay, now I think the coverage looks amazing, but this does not look like skin to me because it's very flat. It's very one-dimensional. So now we're going to want to add those extra little things that are going to make your foundation really look like skin. So my first thing I like to do is contour, bronze, just to add some warmth to the face. So since I want my foundation to look very skin-like, I'm going to be using some cream products today for my bronzer and contour. I'm just going to go in with my trusty dusty RCMA palette. This is the VK11 palette. So I'm just going to go ahead and bronze and contour off camera. If you want me to make a video about how I like to bronze and contour and do all that, I could do that for you guys. But yeah, I'm going to do that off camera because it kind of takes a little while. Next is blush. Still working with cream products because I just feel like cream products give such a skin-like effect. My favorite cream blushes right now are actually really affordable. These are the Colourpop blush sticks. I'm using the shade Cool It today. I'm actually going to warm it up on the back of my hand like this. I feel like this product just performs a little bit better when you melt it down. And now I'm just going to literally tap it on. I love the dewiness that these blushes give the skin. Now we are done with the cream products, so I'm going to go ahead in with some setting powder. I have got my Beauty Bakery setting powder on hand. So I'm just going to powder underneath of the eyes. And then I'm just going to barely hit around the nose. We want to keep that dewiness on our cheeks. But I feel like in the T-zone in the middle of your face right here, I feel like it just looks a little greasy sometimes, and also like I'm naturally kind of greasy. So by the end of the day it's going to look greasy regardless, but right now I'm going to powder it. Yay! Now for my favorite part, highlighter! So I'm going to be using the Flash Jaclyn Hill highlighting kit palette thing. And oh yeah, I'm using the same brush I applied my powder with, but this is the JH14 brush. Okay, so I'm gonna tap into this white looking shade. Oh, they have names. Gleam and Mesmerize. So Gleam and Mesmerize are the two I'm gonna be using. So I just take it from under the brow and just kind of paint on like this. Alright, so now I'm going to grab a more dense highlighting brush, and we're going to use this where we want to be more highlighted. Since this brush is more dense, it's going to give me more intensity in the highlight, so I'm going to use this where I want it really intense, which is going to be right here. Pat it on. Okay, so now I am noticing my highlighter looks really good, but it looks a little bit powdery in person, so now I'm going to fix that problem. I am reaching for the Danessa Myricks Balm. This is in clear. I take this on my finger like this, and I like to apply this over top of my powder highlighters because it really just melts them back down. Alright y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and do some eye makeup and lip makeup and all that jazz, and I'll be right back for the final products. Last but not least, I'm using the Pixie Glow Mist. I've really been liking this lately, so let me give me little spurts of this. Alright you all, so this is the final product. I have a nice full coverage look on that I feel like looks a lot like skin. I mean, obviously I have makeup on, but yeah, no, I think it looks very skin-like, very natural to me. If you all have any questions, please let me know down below. Also, if you have any future video ideas, things that could branch off of this one, I would really love to know. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you next time.